Hello, welcome back to another episode of Freshly Spoiled with Monique
Hi.
and Ryan. Um, we just watched right here, just moments ago, we finished watching Emilia Perez,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I haven't said this in a few episodes, so I feel okay saying it now, but you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
What?
This isn't something you would have watched?
No, I wasn't looking forward to watching this. No, this was definitely felt like homework. Um, You said you felt the same way. You weren't necessarily
I
looking
was
forward to it.
not looking
Yeah.
forward to it. Like at first when I heard about it, I was like, I have no idea what this is about.
Yeah.
I'm not interested either. But then I heard people talking about it and I watched a clip, the clip where they're in the the first doctor's office and they're singing.
Yeah. You saw that clip?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this is horrible. This
Yeah.
is really bad." Yeah, the singing was just
Not
awful.
even hardly singing.
It was
Yeah.
talking. It was talk singing.
Yeah.
Like
Just-
the songs weren't made like they weren't made to be songs. They
right.
were just singing.
They took dialogue and
Yeah.
they took like they wrote absurd dialogue and then just made it kind of a little bit musical, which I don't know why they did that. I just
Yeah.
you wouldn't call it a musical because usually musicals you can put out an album with
Right,
and
you
you
could
can have
listen to it as
songs
a
you can have
standalone
songs like
thing.
there's nobody's like listening to those songs like, oh, I love this track.
Yeah.
There was one part, literally one part of music. No, maybe two parts of music that I thought, all right, I kind of like this music. It was
The music, yeah, like
yeah. I forget which even parts it was now. Oh, I think when the wife Jessie was Jessica, was that
yes.
when she was dancing in her bedroom?
Yes.
It was like
Same.
I kind of
I
like
felt that too.
I kind of like that music,
Mhm.
and then like the opposite of that was I liked before Amelia when it was still he singing about why he wants this. Like so it was like a very slow song, but I kind of liked the melody of that part, very like briefly, not even like the whole part. But I was like, all right, there's some melody here. So overall, what did you think?
Like that being said, overall, it was better than I thought. So going into it, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh God, this is gonna be horrible," and it wasn't great, but it was okay.
Yeah.
Like, I liked that there was story. There was a story to it,
Yeah.
and you could still get into the story through the talk singing.
Yeah. All the stuff that they did, the music and like the weird shots that they did, all took away from my enjoyment of this movie. I liked this movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you took all that off, first of all, you're making it shorter, which it didn't need. If you took all those songs out of there, it doesn't change the plot of the movie at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it. It doesn't. You're not lost by any means.
No.
You're not wanting for anything.
No.
This was like a good movie. It was an interesting story.
Yeah.
And it was like, good performances and interesting
And
characters.
They were decent actors,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Just not.
And it was like, none of them were great singers. Like even Selena Gomez.
Was okay, but like.
Yeah, but she didn't they didn't give her much to
Yeah,
work with.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that was in there because I feel like I would have been like, I think I like this movie a lot.
Yeah.
The controversial take, but I feel like the topic of transgender has come up in a couple movies now, and it's comes up just in life more and in shows, and it's a hot topic issue. It's a buzzy thing to talk about. I just feel like it's I don't know if I'm not interested. Like I feel like I don't have a hurdle to get over. I'm accepting of it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some people maybe need to see this and it's important, but I'm like, it's not as big. It's just as way like the conservatives talk about like it's so fearful. Like it's not as big an issue as you're making it out to be. Like it's not. You're acting like it's one in every 6 people is like gonna, and then even if they do, what does it affect your life? It's like such a big issue politically. So like that gets exaggerated, like how big of a topic it is, to like a talking point topic. But now it's becoming like in media and in content, like in movies and in TV shows, it's like, well, now it's a bigger issue. Like you're displaying it like it's more of a thing. So it almost like you're working against it. You're making these people think it is a bigger topic because it shows up in movies and it shows up in TV a lot. It's like you're making their fear. And I'm not saying that you should tamper it down to make people comfortable, but it is like you're kind of making them feel like, see, it's everywhere. I'm like, it's not everywhere. It's just we want to. Like, it's an important thing to talk about because there are people that feel uncomfortable because of how you treat them.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to normalize it.
Yeah, right.
And but in like some instance, maybe in a pushy way, like shoving it down people's throats.
I didn't think this was pushy. I mean,
no,
it was
I'm not
just
saying this movie.
yeah,
I'm
right.
just saying like in culture.
Right, but in normalizing, you're normalizing it to the people that it's already kind of like you're already there. When you try to normalize something to people who are resistant to something, now you're just you're solidifying their fears as an issue here. Like they think it's an issue, and you're normalizing it to the point where it's.
Well, I liked that it wasn't just about that. It wasn't just about her journey in transition. It was, and that was a big part of it. But there was also another story beyond that.
Uh-huh.
So that I
like that it took the most severe case of this, and we talked about before, like when you see even just with the gay guy, like we were saying just in conversation the other day, when I see a black gay guy who's really living his he's letting himself be him in public. And I'm always like, I get like emotional when I see that, and I wouldn't tell them that because I want them to just live their life and not like think that I'm even acknowledging that they're gay, but I think like, wow, what a journey that must have been for them to get to that, because in their culture, it's not as, it's just in everyone's culture, it's not as easily acceptable as it is, but even in this most severe part, like in the urban culture. Can we say the word urban? Is that still the word?
yeah.
In the black community, that's in my mind even more frowned upon. I just from people that I know and things that you see. So when you see somebody really just like fought through that, it's like, good for you. Like that's inspiring to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So here you took a guy, the head of a cartel, just the most rugged, masculine, I don't give a fuck criminal, and it's like he's dealing with this. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah,
to
a
play
little
with.
short-sighted on her end, fucking with his wife, his ex-wife.
Yeah.
So she was married to you, one of the toughest men in that town. And you don't think she's a tough bitch? You don't think that she picked up anything from you? Like when that happened, I was like, oh, I didn't know she was involved, but I was like, oh, she got people. Yeah. She got people to fuck her up. Yeah. And I was like, you really, you didn't, you counted her out a little bit.
That's right there. The answer I had a question that it was actually ended up being answered. I was wondering if before Emilia exposed who she was when the gunshots were going off, I wondered if when she was kidnapped, if she put it together, but when she said, they're my kids, I was wondering if that, but then she didn't. Mm-hmm. She hadn't put that together.
Yeah, so. She was just like, this woman's nuts.
Yeah, I'm taking this woman took my money, she seized my money, but that goes to that's like that passion, or that whatever it is that the original character. What was
his name?
Emilia's name when it was? Yeah, I mean,
something with an M.
Is it considered dead naming when it's a character that you're trying to refer when it's a movie character?
I can't remember exactly. I have
I don't remember. Anyway, something like that. Yeah, the crime, the head of the cartel. That still person's still in there, and when you're fucking with them, and it's like you're taking she thought, okay, everything's perfect. I got my kids here. But it's like that wasn't sustainable. But once that was taken away from her, she was like that original criminal. Like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get what I want. Comes out, even though it's like an older, pretty looking woman. It doesn't matter. This is who I am. This is that never goes away. If I need to, it comes out.
Yeah. I liked at the end that Rita, was that her name? The lawyer, that she got kids. Like that was her thing.
Yeah.
She wanted kids, and she didn't have a lover, and now she has kids. So that was great. I liked that.
When she was like, I want kids, but she needs a father. So it seems like she was definitely more interested in having kids than having a love life. But maybe that'll, maybe in Emilia Perez 2, that'll, would it be called Emilia Perez 2, or just Rita, the lawyer? What was I going to say? I don't remember.
I have a Beatles song in my head now. I can't.
What?
I don't know. I think there's like, doesn't matter.
Does it like rhyme with Emilia Perez?
No, it's like Rita the Meter Maid or something like that.
I don't know anything about the Beatles.
Is this movie nominated? Do you know what it's nominated for?
Well, nothing's nominated yet.
Well, yeah.
But it's in the conversation for Best Picture, I believe, and also a couple of Best Actress roles.
Okay, so not music.
No. Well,
like it's
I don't
not
know.
In competition with Wicked, or
I didn't. Well, there's no musical. It would
It
would just be an original song, or it would be like music, I guess, or
score.
I don't know. Score is sound editing would be a thing. I don't know. But no, I don't. Maybe there's a song in there somewhere. I don't know. Maybe there's a song that was salvageable out of that.
I mean, if I had to say one, it would be the last one. That they were.
Oh yeah. Right. Oh yeah, maybe.
That was like probably the best song. And I thought it was funny the statue of her.
Yeah.
With the
hand
wrapped
covered
up.
Yeah. I should have wrapped up a couple other things too. So I guess we're led to believe that Rita had the bag of cash too, right? She's got.
Yeah.
So she's set.
She's set.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. It felt like a movie. Like they wrote the movie just as is, storyline, the twists and all that, and the director. I'm making all this up, but in my mind, this is why they did all the music and all the weird shooting and the different scenes, the set changes out of nowhere, because it makes it a more interesting movie rather than just like a suspenseful, twisty drama, which is not to the level of movies that this director normally makes. This guy makes pretty. I've seen a couple of his other movies and they're pretty. Kind of just raw, and they're different stories that are kind of more subtle, but they're interesting. But this one, the plot of it being kind of over the top, puts it in like the, what was that movie? Gone Baby Gone, Gone Girl. What was?
Well,
Gone
Girl.
Yeah, which one was Ben Affleck?
I think.
Yeah, and then there's, like those kind of. It's almost like 90s throwback dramas, like crime dramas with,
like,
there's a little mystery. And I think this movie's kind of just like one of those. It's like a good version of one of those. But the transgendered woman aspect of it makes it like, oh, it's a little more like Oscar baity. And then like, oh, we're doing something fun with music and with filming. And it makes it a little more interesting rather than just, a cheesy drama that for, housewives to like.
Yeah.
So I feel like they
they
wrote a movie and like, oh, we got to let's add some interesting things to this to not make it as accessible to those people that we don't really feel are good movie watchers.
Okay.
Like let's make them not like this movie so that like merely like artsy people will like it more. Otherwise, it's just a plain Jane.
That's so funny you say that because I was like, who are they trying to appease with
Yeah.
the musical, with the singing and
Yeah.
dancing part of it. Like, what
Yeah.
audience are they trying to
Yeah,
get?
I think that it seemed disingenuous to me.
Yeah.
And listen, that was my take. I always say like it's just a matter of perception. I can't do anything
I
about
mean,
that.
I agree though.
Yeah, but this director might have thought, oh, I want to do like a fun, like I want to do like a musical type of thing, and I want, like that
No,
wasn't
and I
necessarily his
know,
approach.
but
But
I think like that Mark was here and
yeah,
he went
it just
there.
didn't work. It
was
didn't
like-
it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Overall, like I said, I liked it. I
Yeah.
liked the movie. I can
Yeah.
forget all those other things. Like they were like funny to me almost.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if how the filmmaker would feel. Like, oh yeah, laugh at all the parts that they were. If I'm looking at it like, oh, this is comedy, and then the rest of it is like a story, then it was entertaining.
Yeah.
We laughed a couple times at
We
the
did.
ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
So, nice to be able to watch a movie at home.
Mm-hmm.
We got to pause the subtitles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't know one actor in this. But it's a French movie. The director is French.
Because it was all French in the beginning, like the titles and stuff.
Yeah, it's a French director.
But it was Spanish.
So I'm sure.
Speaking, right?
Yeah, right.
And yeah,
And then some,
English in there.
some English, a little bit of English in there. I assume that's because it's a French director, but he wanted to make a movie about the head of a cartel, a Mexican cartel, and so you got to set it in. It's just interesting to think, like, we think foreign movies, are like, that the director is making a movie in that country, and but it is. So this is like uber foreign. This is foreign French filmmaker set in Mexico, like his languages everywhere. Oh, it's also nominated on the trajectory for nominations for best foreign film, which I think is always interesting when there's in the Oscars, there'll be a movie nominated for best picture, along with all the other pictures, and there'll be that same movie will be in the category for best foreign film. I'm like, well, obviously it's going to win best foreign film.
Yeah.
Because it's the only movie, there's 5 nominations for best foreign film, and then that is the one that's also nominated for best picture.
Right.
So if one of those other foreign films was better than that, it would also be nominated for best picture.
Right.
So it's always like, that's always your answer. When that happens, it's never a surprise. Like, oh, when who's going to win best foreign film? It's
That's
like,
an interesting way to look at
yeah,
it.
right. Yeah, I don't like when they do that. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes a movie will be a foreign film, but they'll only submit for best picture. They won't even submit for best foreign film. I
Okay.
think Parasite might have done that. I don't think they even entered best foreign film. I guess it's a choice. You could submit for whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did it.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
we did it.
accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we got that movie in,
Yes.
and that I didn't hate my time watching it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was actually like getting tired. I'm like, I don't know if I might fall asleep at the beginning, like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna have to pause this. I'm gonna have to take a little nap. But I was interested. It woke me up. I think the storyline interested me. As soon as she got dragged to the cartel, I was like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pleasantly surprised.
And I said that when we met him, he had the big nose, and like you could tell.
Yeah, you were like,
it's
oh,
like
that's
definitely.
a prosthetic.
I'm like, that's all the prosthetic. We're gonna reveal who the person actually is,
Yeah.
later. But I didn't know that it was. You said that the actor. This was before I think we saw her in the reveal.
Yeah.
You said that you had already known that was it was a transgendered woman actress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.